Alright, this is your Chapter 1 review packet video. This will be the first of many videos you will watch this year. This video is to be used as a tool to check your work and to see if you have questions on any. This is not a tool to just simply copy down what I'm doing on your review packet. So make sure you are trying your review packet on your own before you are going to this video. Let's start with number 1. Absolute value, remember, is the distance a number is away from 0 on the number line. Remember, distance cannot be negative. Therefore, the answer to the absolute value problems can never be negative. So the absolute value of -1 is positive 1. The absolute value of 15 is 15 away on the number line, so that is a positive 15. And the absolute value of -37 is positive 37. Remember, there is a difference between the absolute value and between finding the opposite. Make sure you know the difference. Next one, we are completing the statement using less than, greater than, or equal to. Remember, my key to you here is to rewrite the problem underneath, getting rid of the absolute value bars. So this one would be 6 and 6, and you know 6 is equal to 6. 0 doesn't have absolute value, so it's 0. Absolute value of 3 is 3, and so 0 is less than 3. Absolute value of -5 is 5. Absolute value of -9 is 9. 5 is less than 9. So those should be pretty straightforward if you remember to rewrite them without absolute value. Number 7 says one fish is 4 feet below sea level, another fish is 3 feet below sea level. Write a position, each position as an integer. Which integer is greater? Okay, so if I think of my sea, y'all liked when I drew this in class, when I drew my sea picture. So I have my water and my boat. Okay, here's underneath sea level. So one fish is at -4 feet, the other fish is at -3 feet. Okay, which integer is greater? So my two positions as an integer, one is -3 feet, that's an integer, and the other is -4. Which integer is greater? And -3 feet is the greater integer. It is closer to the water. Okay, if it helps you to draw pictures on these, please, please, please do so. I highly recommend it. All right, let's move on to the integer rules, your favorite. Oops, go back up. The first one is 6 plus a -3. My signs are different, so I subtract the big minus the small. And I keep the sign of the bigger number. So 6 minus 3 is 3. And I keep the positive sign because the 6 is the bigger number. Number 9, we have 3 numbers here. They're all addition, so I know I can start from left to right. I'm going to do 2 at a time. So 8 plus a -1 is 7 plus a -3. Signs are different, so I subtract 7 minus 3 and I get 4. Keep the sign of the bigger number. Number 10, 10 minus a -3. This is subtraction. Keep the first one, add the opposite of the second number. 10 plus 3 is 13. Number 11 is also subtraction. Keep the first one, add the opposite of the second. -9 plus 9 is 0. 12 is multiplication. Remember, multiplication and division is when I can use my smiley face rule. So a positive times a negative is a negative number. So 7 times a -4 is a -28. Number 13 is all multiplication. Do these two first. Negative times a negative is a positive. -2 times -5 is 10. 10 times -3 is a -30. 14, 12 divided by -4. Remember, division is the same as multiplication for the face rules. Okay, so negative divided by negative is going to be a positive. -12 divided by -4 is positive 3. Division on 15, negative divided by a positive is a negative, so this is -3. And finally, -16 divided by 8. Remember, it can be written this way as a bar, or with the division sign would give me -2. Moving on to the next page. Number 17 says you start hiking at an elevation that is 80 meters below base camp. You increase your elevation by 42 meters. What is the new elevation with respect to the base camp? My suggestion on these is to draw a picture. Okay, it helps you visualize what you're doing. So if you start hiking 80 below sea level, or excuse me, 80 meters below base camp, let's try that again. 80 meters below base camp, and you increase your elevation, which means you're going up 42 meters. Okay, what is the new elevation with respect to your base camp? So if I'm at negative 80 and I add 42 meters, okay, that gives me a negative 38 meters. Number 18, the temperature falls from 3 degrees Celsius to negative 4 degrees Celsius. What is the difference in these temperatures? My key word here is difference. You know difference means subtraction. Okay, so if I have 3 minus a negative 4, okay, that's the same thing as 3 plus 4, which is a 7 degree Celsius difference. You can also write this, or you can draw this, oops, go back up, using a vertical number line. So if I'm, the difference between negative 4 and 3 would be 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. The distance right here is 7 degrees. So that's another way you could do that problem. Number 19 and 20, you have to find the mean of the integers. And remember, finding the mean, to find the mean, you add up all the numbers and divide by how many numbers are there. So remember, mean is adding. So 2 at a time, I do 5 plus a negative 15, which is negative 10, plus 7, which is negative 3, minus 13, which is negative 16, plus 1 is negative 15. So that's my total. So if I take negative 15 and divide it by 5, because that's how many digits I have, my mean is negative 3. Same thing for this next one. Negative 21 plus a negative 34. On this, my signs are the same, so I add and keep, and I get negative 55 plus a negative 37. Signs are the same, add and keep, I get negative 92. Plus a negative 52, signs are the same, add and keep, negative 144, plus a negative 56, add and keep, I get negative 200 is my total. I also have five numbers here, so to find the mean, take negative 200 divided by 5, and my mean is negative 40. The key there is to remember to add, add, add. All right, numbers 21 and 22, remember these, you must use your order of operations. Okay, once you notice that there's more than one operation in each problem, you have to do them in the correct order. So I have parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide in the order that it appears, and then add and subtract in the order that it appears. So, first things first here, I need to do my parentheses. So it's 4 times 3 plus 6 squared. All I did was 12 divided by 2. Okay, next one, I do my exponent, so it's 4 times 3 times, plus 36. All I did was my exponent. Now I multiply 12 plus 36, and finally add to get 48. Same thing over here, parentheses first, so it's 20 plus 3 times 4. Then I multiply before I add, so it's 20 plus 12, which gives me an answer of 32. And finally, question 23, we're going to use this table for questions A through E. So you're going to use this table right here for all of the questions on this page. There will be a question similar to this on your test where you'll have to answer 5 questions as well. This is almost identical. So this table shows the temperature in Des Moines, Iowa for certain times during a particular day. So at 3 a.m. it's negative 15, at 8 a.m. it's negative 6, at 1 p.m. 22 degrees, 5 p.m. 10 degrees, and 10 p.m. is a negative 11 degrees. So it says what are the high and the low temperatures. So the lowest integer and the highest integer. So my highest integer is 22 degrees Fahrenheit, and my low temperature of the day when it's really, really cold is negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So it says find the range of the temperature, and remember range is highest minus lowest. So here it would be 22 minus a negative 15, which if I keep the first one, add the opposite of negative 15, 22 plus 15 is a 37 degree Fahrenheit range. Question C, it says find the change in temperature from 5 p.m. Oops. Give me that back. Find the change in temperature from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. So at 5 p.m. it was 10 degrees. If I'm finding the change, I need to subtract. And 10 p.m. it was negative 11 degrees. Okay, so the change is keep the first, add the opposite of the second. The change is 21 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, you could have also drawn a vertical number line, and 10 degrees is way up here, negative 11 is way down here, and the distance between these two numbers is 21 degrees. So you could have done it either way. And D, it says based on the given 5 temperatures, what is the average temperature for the day? So to find the average, I know I need to add up all the numbers. So negative 15 plus negative 6 is negative 21. Then I need to add the temperature at 1 p.m., which is 22 degrees. So negative 21 plus 22 is 1. Then I need to add the temperature at 5 p.m., which was 10 degrees, which gives me 11. And then I need to add a negative 11 because that was the temperature at 10 p.m. So my adding them all up gives me 0. And I know I took the temperature 5 different times. Oh my goodness, where'd it go? Here we go. So 0 divided by 5 gives me my average, and my average is 0. Okay, it looks kind of funky, but if you did it correctly, your average should be 0. And the last question asks us to explain why your answer to part D is not an accurate average temperature for the day. This is kind of a stumper, but if you go back up and look at the table, you will notice that it was taken at several times throughout the day. Okay, so it was taken at 3 a.m., and 8 a.m., and 1 p.m., and 5 p.m., and 10 p.m. There's no consistency there. So what the average is not an accurate temperature for the average of the day because they take place at different times. During the day. So that's all for this review sheet. If you have any other questions, you all have my email. It's meganscott@lindberghschools.ws. Please, please, please email me tonight if you have any questions. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.